Okay. Let's copy the URL and let's get it. All right, if y'all see me, just give me a minute. I'm trying to get everybody back. All right, let's see. Are we live? Hey, sorry about that, everybody. The hotel Wi-Fi is absolute trash, and now I'm using my mobile hotspot. My phone has 5G with 4 bars. The hotel Wi-Fi has 2 bars. No cap. Two bars for the hotel Wi-Fi. So I'm not too happy. Okay. I see you, Rika. Now what I'm about to do, I'm about to get right into the charts. Okay. We're going to talk about, hold on. All right. I think we're good. I think everybody's back for the most part. I think we're like short 10 people, but it is what it is. Hey, Monique. All right. So because we wasted enough time, let's talk about it. So Tesla. So we moved on Tesla twice, okay? 2 times we caught the move on Tesla. So I'm going to show you how we found it. So first, after this move on Tesla was made, I was using this as my potential supply, but it was not. I use this as my supply zone. Sorry, I'm a little scattered now. Like I'm just thrown off. But anyway, I used this as the supply zone, and then I zoomed in, and I was paying attention to the price action. Okay, so at first, if you guys remember, I said that this right here was what? We remember what that's called? So this right here is the descending triangle, okay? I'm sorry I gotta look to the right because I got my tablet as my second screen. All right, so I peeped this descending triangle, and before it even formed, after this hit, I already had made this pattern, right? I already made the chart, if y'all remember. And I told everybody that what would likely happen is that we would see a false breakout before we came down. Okay, so we did do that here. It broke underneath and then it took off. But again, you get the breakout. This is your take profit target after a breakout. But I knew that going into supply, we were losing strength, right? So this triggered me, once we fell back into this supply zone, to hop into shorts, right? To hop into shorts. And that's what we did. We rode the wave down. Okay? Actually, what was this? Monday? Monday was here. Monday we caught this top. My apologies. Monday we caught the top of this zone. But I still called this out and I held through, right? I just averaged into the play, okay? If I'm not mistaken. So then we fell back into supply and then this happened, right? Once we got this doji right here, after falling under supply, I don't know if you can see this just fine. Hopefully you can. At open, it's a solid signal. Okay, so essentially during the overnight hours, this all happened, right? But we were focused on this pattern before close. We closed right here, okay? We closed here, and then all of this happened during the closing sessions, okay? And then we opened right here. So essentially, the stop loss was confirmation above this supply zone that I had tagged. And then I'm pretty sure that I tagged everybody within the Discord, okay? And then we had this nice sell-off, okay? God dang it. Excuse me, everybody. When I'm away from my studio, it's pretty tough. So after this sell-off happened, what did we spot? We spot another supply, and then we spot this sell side imbalance, right? Now, the cause of this sell-off could have been because of how the Robo taxi launched, right? It launched in this small little area. It had like backup people to remote control the cars just in case something went out of whack. And so it's not really a launch, right? A launch would be, hey, the new iPhone came out. Here you go, everybody. Nah, this was not big enough, right? This is still experimental, right? Tesla did not launch it, in my opinion, in confidence. So anyway, so then we fell under, and then we looked for re-entry as we drew this imbalance, right? Hold on, let me tag this properly. Sorry, everybody, if I'm a little off. So then that brings us into what happened today. Okay. So after you took profits at open, right? I drew this up and I told everybody that I believe Tesla is still going down. In the Discords, I showed you what this was, which is a symmetrical triangle. Now, a symmetrical triangle is a neutral chart pattern, right? When you get a neutral chart pattern, it's essentially the market kind of deciding what direction the stock is going to go, right? They want to take it. Now, a couple of things. One, this was a key level of support at 344.39. So once we fell below this, I was already more confident that we were going to fall down even further. However, when you have a symmetrical triangle after a sell-off or run-up, whatever, is typically a sign of a continuation. Now, from an analytical or probability standpoint, there's a 52% chance, it's not strong, but there's a 52% chance that there's a continuation after the sell-off or run-up looking at a symmetrical triangle. Now, I want y'all to know that this played to a T, which was perfect. I drew this up all the way back here, and it played it perfectly. And if you guys were in the Discord, you've seen it, right? But just so you know, if you ever see this pattern again, typically what you'll see is something like this. You'll get like 3 points of contact, and like on the third point, you'll typically break down and then reverse. Like they do this kind of false breakout on these neutral positions pretty often. This time it just played in our favor. Okay, so just keep that in mind. All right, so does that make sense? Because this is how we shorted Tesla and is on the way down. I told everybody Monday that I think it's going down to 325. Will it? I don't know. We'll see. All right. Well, let me check the chat and let me see if you have any questions based on what I said. And then we'll go from there. But you can see here, let me get rid of this, the support at this level. Okay. We broke it, support, broke it, retested, bounced off. Then once we fell through and failed to retake this level, that was my trigger that is safe to go short on Tesla. All right. So good job, Reka. Good job on the descending channel. You can do descending channel. It's a descending triangle. It's the same concept though. Okay, so the questions was, what timing are you using? So Jennifer, right now, so I teach a little bit about supply, demand, and then imbalances, right? So what you're seeing is kind of like what I call zone syncing, right? Where you start at a higher time frame, you find your supply and demand zones and or imbalances, and then you go down to a smaller time frame, like a 5 minute or 1 minute or 15 minute, whatever, and then you're looking for price action around those zones that you drew up. Okay, so that's zone syncing, when your price action syncs up with the zones you drew at a higher time frame. So, all right, do you think there is a chance it can go up? Yes, Tesla is volatile. Tesla can always go up. So just like here, right? This was like this was a descending triangle pattern right here, and Tesla after close, right? It took off, right? It broke out, even though everything was telling me that we were going to sell up, right? But instead, it decided to try to waltz into the supply zone. It failed to break free, and they pulled them all the way back. But this is what happens. Tesla very well could come back and just come back to retest 344 in the overnight hours for pre-market before it either continues or sells off. All right. I'm looking at comments. Then once I'm done with the comments, I'm gonna move to Amazon, and then from there we'll take some requests, and then we'll talk a little bit more about. We'll find a swing trade setup, and we'll talk a little bit more about any requests on specific stocks or whatever you want to look at. Okay. I think launch was good. They're being careful. Oh, absolutely. They're being conservative. They're being careful. There's nothing wrong with that, but the expectation was higher, right? Right. That's kind of what it is. It's like let's say you have a wealthy family, right? Let's say your mom and dad, they're rich. You guys are like millionaires, whatever, right? But mom and dad, in their head, they came from nothing, and they know, the value of a dollar and having to work for it, right? And you're their little princess. You're 16 years old. You just got your driver's license. You're all excited, blah, blah, blah. And they say, hey, baby, we got you a new car, right? And you're excited. You're thinking that you about to get in this a Mercedes or this a Bentley or, these sweet 16s like that are like super spoiled, right? So they say, hey, sweetie, close your eyes. Close your eyes. And then voila, what is it? It's a 2005 Chevy Impala. it's whatever the year of the car is, whatever year you were born with low miles. and it ain't a luxury. You get a normal car that takes traditional oil changes and 87 regular gas. That's what you get. Look, your expectations were high, right? But guess what? You came all the way back down to earth, but you still got a car, right? You still got a car. I feel that's what kind of happened with Tesla, in my opinion. That's just my opinion. But hopefully that analogy works for you. Hey, Jumpman, here you go again, big dog. I appreciate you, man. I really do. Thank you so much. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks, Lisa, for the love and support. And help. Hey, hit the like button. Come on now. How many likes we got? Can somebody tell me? How did you come up with the expiration date? So the expiration date, so I look at the chart pattern and I look at my price action. So the chart pattern, the price action, my supply and demand, and then I predict, I kind of know when we should be looking for a breakout. I called at the end of the day, hey, the market's about to make a big move. Tesla and Amazon's about to make a big move. I called it out several times. So when I know or I have a good feeling that that's going to happen, I will go with a closer to like a weekly expiration, one that's expiring in a couple of days. If I know that I need to give it more time to cook, right? Maybe it's the beginning of this symmetrical triangle and I know it needs another 2 to 3 points. Maybe I stretch it out a week to give myself time. So that's kind of how I determine my contract expirations. So 22 likes. All right, I'm gonna let y'all know right now. Hey, do me a favor. I'm gonna pause. I'm gonna refill my cup, okay? My soda water. If you guys could just take a moment and hit the like button for me, it would be greatly appreciated, okay? So take a moment. It doesn't take long. Hit the like, and then we'll get back into it. And I'm gonna give some game. This is also gonna count as a lesson because I'm gonna teach something. We're just gonna fall into it, but do me that favor real quick, please. Thank you. Imagine somebody saying, hey, I'm gonna give you, now, I mean, this is subjective, but hey, I'm gonna give you $1 million worth of game. The only thing you have to do is press one button, right? Like, come on, man. Come on. And not just for me. I mean, any content creator, like y'all just don't know how much time is invested in this. And literally when you do the math, we get paid pennies. Like with the hours that we put into it, you truly have to have a passion for this to do it, to want to help people. Like if that's not your goal or your mission, or you want to take advantage of people, now that's a whole nother thing. But if you have a passion for this, that's what drives you and motivates you to keep coming and doing it. Because the money is not great. But hey, GG, hey, thank you so much. I really, really appreciate it, big dog. Thank you so much. Or I'm sorry if you're not a guy. Either way, you queen. I don't know what you are. I'm sorry. Thank you so much. Truly, I want y'all to know that when I get a super chat, like, it's very humbling. So I do, if it's $1, if it's $20, like I get the same feels because it's you guys telling me that you value my time and you appreciate the content, and that just makes me want to do it more, right? So no, thank you so much for your contribution and supporting the channel. Thank you. Okay, hold up. Okay, LTC. Okay, I will hold that thought. I'm not ready to take requests yet. Okay, please look these charts, sir. Okay, I won't remember. So when I ask again, let me know, Rika. Support your creators, 100%. If you guys are in like KGU and you are tuning in all the time to Rocket, Gator, Jumpman, Lisa, Keenan, Alpha, who's my boy? I'm gonna lose it. I'm calling Preacher Man because I'm losing it right now. Somebody help me out. I don't want to forget nobody. Hold up. Oh, keys. Yeah, the key. Yeah, so if you are tuning in to any of their content, trust me when I say hitting the like button goes a long way. And that's like the greatest gift that you guys can give us, because that helps the algorithms. And I don't do a lot of public content, so when I am doing this, I really appreciate you guys hitting that like button for me. So thank you so much. I'm still reading comments and I'm gonna get back to the charts, I promise. AMD, all right, I got you. KGU, let's go all day. Judgment key, okay. Yep. I appreciate you. You're the best. That's subjective, but I'll take it. I am the best. I just gotta say it. You gotta believe you the best to be the best. All right. So I appreciate all the love. I hope that we got the likes up. I'm not really looking, but thank you. So, where are we right now? So Tesla continued to sell off in the aftermarket. Oh, that's what's up. That's what's up. 42 of 54. That was a big time. Thank you guys. Thank you so much. So we sell off in the aftermarket now. Of course, in the overnight hours for Robinhood, we might be shooting up. Who knows? But we know our boy Jerome Powell is testifying again tomorrow. So we closed at 338.30, and we're currently sitting at 339.53 in the overnight. So we're kind of floating in this range. Tesla again is trying to find its direction, and it's really at a level of imbalance. Yep, it's caught in this imbalance zone right here. So I'm gonna move on from Tesla, but at the end of the day, my take profit target is 331.89, but I really hope for it to fall all the way down to 320.76. Now I understand, it might not be likely, but this is the golden pocket. This is the zone from 331 to 320. So at the very least, touching this would be a nice print if you did go get in. So hopefully it opens up proper for us. Okay. So Amazon. So Amazon was kind of the same situation, everybody. So where I identified a pattern for Amazon, and then of course we had supply and demand. So let me zoom out and then see what we can find. And let's go to the regular hours, because it's just gonna make it easier for me to figure it out. Denise, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Denise. Hey, I just drove 2 hours, and then I had to drive back the opposite direction to find a hotel because the location was messed up. Like, it was sold out everywhere. And I have a conference tomorrow, so like I'm pretty busy, but I still wanted to get on here and then talk about what I seen. So thank you for the donation and appreciating that. So essentially what we did, oh man, my mouth is dry. You zoom out, right? I'm gonna show you guys how I set up my charts. So typically I would start from like the day or the 4 hours or something like that, right? But for now, we're just gonna go with the 65 minute, because everything is right here. Like everything I need to know in the short term, right? So you can identify last week that we hit a double top, right? For the most part. And then we broke the neckline, but we didn't break it with strength. So this is why we see this little pump up here. But also at the end of the day, we did have this line right here, potential support or resistance, as we came back up and we found it, right? So I'm gonna zoom in and then see if we can find some more information, because I forgot what chart I charted this on, so forgive me, because something's a little off. Okay, so I'm trying to remember why I got triggered for Amazon, and I believe I'm not finding it. Hold up. Just saying that Amazon was like a symmetrical triangle as well, and I'm just trying to figure out where it was, and maybe I did a combination of the extended hours. I just want to get it right for y'all. Yeah, because it's definitely in this region. All right, so let me just draw my lines real quick. Sorry. So yeah, this is what I had. Yep, I'm remembering now. But I was on a different chart, so that's why it's not printed off on here right now. But anyway, this is what I had drawn up for Amazon. I'm gonna zoom in, and I identified this pattern, and we did this on the live stream, okay? We did this on the live stream, if I'm not mistaken, right? So we seen the rejections, we seen the lower highs, right? And I seen this ascending line or descending line of resistance that we were failing to break above. So because of that, and the points that I was seeing at the bottom, I identified it as a symmetrical triangle, which in turn is why I decided to go short. Now, I understand what I just said. I said that it typically goes 52% in the direction like it came in at, like for continuation. But when I zoomed out for Amazon, we were at a key level of resistance that we failed to break above. Not only that, I identified a potential head and shoulders pattern as well. So I'm trying to see at what time frame I seen this at, so I can just speak to it properly. Nope. And I might not, but either which way, this is the pattern I hopped in on the trade on. Okay, there was a couple things going on. So if I look at volume, I was seeing that as price was going up, volume was decreasing. So that was a sign for me that we were losing steam towards the upside. Okay. So essentially that's what it was. I hate when I don't have the chart that I was using originally like up and ready to go. And now on my tablet, it looks funny versus on my home computer. Yeah. But anyway, my bad, y'all. Essentially, we had our fake breakout, which I called, and then it sold off. Came back to retest the ascending line of previous support, now resistance, and now we are where we are. We'll see if it doubles back and takes off, but as of right now, we're up 27%. If you took the win, congratulations. I know a lot of you took 20 to 27% before close. Shout out to y'all. If you made money on Amazon or Tesla, put a 1 in the chat for you. Just let me know. This was a trash analysis in my opinion, so I apologize because I got a little lost on what triggered me. But this is the correct pattern that I was using, that I entered the play on. And the weakness that I seen as we entered this told me that there's not likely strength towards the upside, but I had my level of resistance as well. But anyway, blessings, fam. Hey, thank you all, everybody. I appreciate it. What days and times are you doing the lives? It depends on what lives you're talking about. So live rapid chart analysis is on Thursdays. And that's the main public live stream that I have in stone, right? The rest of the lives I do are mainly for members, right? And we're doing live deep dives on chart analysis. We're doing live trading, whether it's futures or or options. I traded futures today live for the Discord. But yeah, those happen typically once a week, okay? And then I do every Sunday I do a live weekly strategy for the orcas, the anglers, and megalodons from my tier. But I share all of my plays with KGU. So, well, at least most of them. So my key plays that I have, I'll share my chart analysis and I'll share the contracts typically with KGU if I am looking at something. But that is it. Hopefully that answers your question. Oh, and then we do live streams on the first Saturday of every month, because that is the Saturday or Sunday. That would be a monthly strategy. So that's where I go in with the megalodons and anglers, and we look at all of the plays and the setups for the entire month. So there is no guesswork. You load up, and once your levels hit, you play it. I give them an entire range for the SPY, and then we might look at another play or another ticker just as a backup in case SPY isn't really playing ball. So that's what we do. knowing that the patterns wasn't strong, how did you determine what the take profit level would be? All right, so with Amazon, technically the take profit target would have been the high or the low of where we entered the play. So in reality, 213, it would have been your take profit. This would be your TP1, okay? So here, rule of thumb, if you're trading out of a symmetrical, like a neutral position, your take profit target is traditionally the high or the low, whatever direction you enter the play. That's typically your TP1, right? So this would have been take profit targets here and here. But of course, if you zoom out and you take a look at the overall trend and how Amazon might have been struggling, right? Then you might have a different story, right? You might say, well, we have a double top, or overall, this is how we're trending for Amazon, right? Which is a descending triangle, right? So this also helps you identify perhaps your max take profit target, right? So this is kind of how we're moving. So my max take profit target would be 207.11, right? And if this pattern plays out, right, then we're looking for a breakout or breakdown, okay? So this is a play, y'all, just so you know. This is legit, and this is a pattern to which Amazon is trading, okay? It's trading in a descending triangle fashion, and those are your take profit targets. Does that make sense? If I were you guys, what I'm gonna do, I'm going to set an alert right at 208 before it hits 207, just in case. And then I'm going to say, leave myself a message. I'm going to say bottom of pattern, look for bullish reversal or breakout. Actually, I can just do a / breakout. So that means so I do these alerts because I'm a busy dude, and my brain, the last thing I want is to get like a arbitrary alert and I come back to the charts and I'm like, why did I get this alert? And then try to figure out what the heck is going on. No, I want an alert that's gonna tell me exactly what to do. So the market calls me, say, hey, Rail, hey, Amazon fell to 208. Okay, so load up and then wait for a price action candlestick, all right? And when you see it, load up, buy, okay? All right, make that money. Don't let it make you. All right, bye. That's how it goes. That's how it goes. Had a Players Club reference. If you know, you know. Does that make sense? Put a 1 in the chat if that makes sense. Hopefully everybody didn't go to sleep on me. Did y'all go to sleep on me? Hey, for real. You already know what time it is. Minutes, come on now. Thank y'all for participating. It's important. It's important for me to know that you are picking up what I'm putting down. All right, so if you guys are ever taking your time to chart up, in preparation for the market, do yourself a favor and set yourself an alert, okay? Because it just saves you time, right? The market isn't supposed to be about thinking, right? So if you go in if you're going into trading, and I'm human, we're all human, we all make mistakes, but if you're going in and then you're zoomed in at the 1 minute, the 5 minute, whatever, you have a lot of noise, right? And then like you're getting emotional and you're FUD or FOMOing into a play. Well, if you set yourself an alert, you're not staring at your phone all day, right? You're waiting for the market to call and say, hey, Amazon is exactly where you need to be. Pick up them calls, big dog. All right, got you. All right, like, come on. We gotta, you get out what you put in, if that makes sense. Hood, okay, SoFi, got you. We are over here breaking pencils. All right. All right. You gonna get you a stylist, big dog. All right. Okay, so that's Amazon, y'all. So essentially, I already told you what it is. Y'all see how small the symmetrical triangle is that I drew up for the day. So look at that. This is what we just played. And guess what that just turned into? It closed as a shooting star, right? And if you know price action candlesticks, I wonder if I have my cheat sheet here. I got to put my cheat sheet on, and I want you guys to take a screenshot of this. Let me see if I can pull it up. 1 second, okay? I have a cheat sheet that I made, and I love it, and I made it because it's focused on probabilities. Because that's what the market is. All right, I found it. All right, so this right here. Hold on. Hold on. Let me transform this. Fit to screen. How you do that? Fit to screen. All right. This right here is my high probability candlestick pattern cheat sheet. Okay. If you notice, right, it tells you what the price action candlestick is, and then the probabilities to which is likely to run. Oops, hold up. So let me see if I can zoom in on a piece of this so you can understand what I'm talking about. So for example, look at the bullishing, or the morning star is a good example on that the bullish line. Okay, it's the very top, very far right candle. The morning star is a 3 candle reversal with small middle candle. So it's a doji, right? Typically, you see this at the bottom of like a downtrend or like a pullback or something like that, right? And then you see this big green candle, right, to follow it, which typically is the start of a demand imbalance type of situation, right? So notice it says probability is 75 to 80%, right? Effective after sustained downtrends. So this should tell you that if you see this on your time frame to which you're trading, this pattern pops up, there's 80% chance that this is gonna go up. So why not take the deal, right? What's your stop loss? Guess what? It's right below that morning star. Okay, it's right below that morning star. And this price action candle happens all the time, right? So look at the next one, right? The bearish line at the top, far left. You see the shooting star, right? What's on my chart right now? Right? Is that not a shooting? Is that not a shooting star? Right? And what's that probability? There's a 65 to 70% chance, right, that this is a reversal near a resistance level. And guess where we are? Is this not a resistance level? Potentially. It's a level that we struggle to take or hold, right? So we just did a short based off of what we've seen here in a zoomed out view. Okay. Now we just need that 65 to 70% to come on through and pay us, right? We got to get paid. So pay attention to this to something like this, okay? And I know there's cheat sheets out there. There's a ton of them, but I don't do anything for no reason. And the only reason why I did this is because not one cheat sheet that I found had anything talking about probabilities. And for me, that's important because that's exactly what the market is. It's all about probability, right? Nobody's 100% right. And it is what it is. So you see what it is. You see the options. Hopefully you guys got that. If you need me to put it back on the screen, let me know. But there you go. Love it. Love it, Lisa. Got that alert set. But, okay, I had you set the alert at the bottom, but we are at the top, right? So what could happen, right? What could happen is that we could, so I just did a Fibonacci retracement on this single candle, which it looks like we already retraced and retested the golden pocket. Look at that. I think we might be pretty solid, everybody. But anyway, on Amazon. But anyway, I would be looking to potentially cut my position if we have bullish momentum through this golden pocket. And it shows you that it's 213.75 is the high, right? But do understand, hopefully, that my ascending line of resistance is up here. Okay, I might need to dial that in a little bit, but nonetheless, that's what it is. All right, so let me read the comments, and then I'll take some requests, and then I'll speak to a couple more things, okay? All right, make sure that I cover what I want to cover. Okay. All right, screenshot for show. Hey, I'm happy you got it. Would you take a put on Amazon down to 208 then? Get into a call back up. Ari or Ari. Yes, if price action told me to do so. Okay, exactly what we just talked about. If price action told me to do so. So let's see if we can find an example of price reversing. Probably not gonna find it. Let's see if we got something going on here. All right, so this right here is after a downtrend, we have, right, a morning star or a hammer. I'm sorry, a hammer at the bottom of this trend, this downtrend, right? So this is an indication toward an upside, right? But we don't have like strong imbalances or anything like that. So you kind of look for those when you're looking to enter these positions, and sometimes they happen on a shorter time frame. But I'm not seeing anything strong, honestly. And when I see stuff like this that's like not definitive, then I bring out other indicators, rather as EMAs or volume profile or whatnot, okay? But this is a good example right here. So we have a sustained downtrend, right? And then at the bottom of this downtrend, we have it's not a doji, but it's like it's not a spinning top because the body's too big, but nonetheless, it still represents something like that, right? So this would then act as your demand, and then this would be your imbalance to follow, okay? So you look for this move candle, and then this would be your confirmation candle. To go long, okay? So at the bottom of a sustained downtrend, you look for a green candle that looks like a spinning top or a doji or a hammer or anything like that, followed by a strong bullish bar. And then if you can get separation, like, so you see this was a retracement. The moment this started to wick, would tell you, hey, this is likely an imbalance and is a potential early entry for a call, right? But just know that up here, your stop loss, your true stop loss is below demand. So that risk is up to you. Oh, Michelle, thank you so much, Queen. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Oh, always showing love. KGU. Hood and Palantir. Okay, all right. So do you take the trade after? I'm going to answer this question, and then we're going to go into requests, okay? Ari, hopefully they answered your question. Arland, you say, do you take the trade after the marking of a candle pattern or wait for your fourth candle closes? All right, that's a great question. So it depends on if you want to play safe or not, right? So here's the thing. If you, like, for example, if you know that you're approaching like a key line of support, or, you know, in this case, the key line of support, and you see this followed by this strong candle, I would say that I personally would be getting into a call. But I know that if we eat through this candle, so we feel the imbalance, I know that it might not be safe, but I am paying attention to volume as we approach the demand zone to determine whether or not I want to get out. So if we, like for instance, this all happened and then we decided to retrace, you can take your profit here. It might not be much, right? But as we come down, you're looking to see, is volume coming up or is volume coming down as you approach demand? And if it's coming down as it's entering demand, then you know that this is not likely a sustained sell-off. This is more likely retracement, and then you're just looking to dollar cost average into your play. So no, I would not wait for this fourth one personally. This is a 15-minute. I would definitely have gotten in off of a wick after this pump right here. But this is probably overnight hours, so it's just an example. Hopefully it helps. All right, so let's get into it. We're gonna look at a couple of requests, okay? I'm taking a look at NQ right now to see how we're doing. We are at a key level still that I have tagged of 22,453, and we still have resistance, but we're living up there. So there's a chance that that thing goes on a rocket, which I wouldn't like. It is what it is. All right, so let's get into it. I gotta find the chart that makes sense. Okay, so what we got? We got PLTR, right? What do you mean by dollar cost average into a play? That means that you're buying, you can dollar cost average up or down, meaning you're buying another of the same contract. So you're buying the same contract again and again and again. So you can dollar cost average up, which is the preferred thing to do. That means that if you hop into a call, for example, and the play ran, and you're not really ready to get out, and you think that there's more room up, and you get a signal or price action that shows that it's going to continue, then you can buy another of the same contract if you so choose, or just buy a different contract. So, and then in reverse, I only dollar cost average into a negative play if we are selling into a demand zone, and I'm assuming, right, that it's just a retracement. So, and you do that in order to bring your cost down at that point. So your average of that contract, you buy more of the same one to bring your average down. Hey, thanks for supporting, being a channel supporter of Winnet. Winnet, thank you so much. All right. All right. So let's look at Palantir. Hey, shout out to Winnet for becoming a channel supporter. Now, Winnet, I don't know if you are in any of the Discords, but if you are looking to get into the sacrifice for riches Discord, you will need to be a minnow or above in order to access that. Okay, just know. All right. Okay, I thought you do that when buying shares. It's the same concept, Denise. It's the exact same concept. It's the exact same thing. It just contracts. Dollar cost average is a universal thing. Whether you're trading futures or forex or options or crypto, all it is buying more of the same as price goes up or down. Okay, to add to your position. Okay, so Palantir. So when you guys ask me to look at a stock, I guess it's important for me to know if you're like, what are you looking to do? Are you looking to trade it? Are you looking to sell it? You're trying to hold it for long term or what? But either which way, we can talk about Palantir as far as where I think it's going. So I'm going to give you, because I know it's a hot stock, I'm going to give you the next levels for Palantir that we have not yet seen. Okay? Because I know how to find them. Okay? So this thing is just on a rocket. All right, so I like to draw my parallel lines, identify, our trend, which we already know we're in the uptrend for Palantir. Right? That's obvious. And then I like to draw my last known level of resistance, because likely it has become support, but I need to zoom in to make sure that that is accurate. So I'm going to go ahead and zoom in to this on the daily. Now on the daily, I'm not really a big fan, but one thing I do notice is that we have inside bar. And if you look at this right here, you can see an inside bar. Look at the bottom right-hand corner, right? Inside bar indicates consolidation or pause in trend or momentum. Okay, probability is 65 to 70% higher in trending markets. So it's a 70% chance that this is just going to continue, right? Dope. Okay. All right. So anyway, if you don't know what I'm talking about, what I just showed you is this is the example of an inside bar. Okay. It's just a consolidation. This is a daily. So if we zoom in, we just know that it's trying to take this level, or whatever. Okay. I'm actually not a fan of this level I drew up for Palantir. So give me a minute. Okay, so for Palantir, we have the inside bar there. Let me see something. Man, this is just on a rocket. I'm gonna zoom in to see if I can get a better look. Again, if I don't see what I want to see, then I might have to recruit a separate indicator. Okay. So I've narrowed my window. So what I'm doing, I'm finding my zone to which I would trade Palantir. Okay, that's what I'm doing right now. So this is going to be my floor, and this is my ceiling, right at 143.38. Okay, and then what I like to do is to identify where I think price is consolidating. But essentially, I draw lines on my chart, and they're all color coded because it lets me know where I am as I'm looking for a chart. So I know that at 138.54, if we're above this line, I'm more bullish. Below this line, I'm more bearish. And I'm looking for reversals at these highs and lows, okay? So that's kind of what I see here. Now, you see that we're in an ascending line or ascending channel. So we have yet to retest this ascending line of resistance, right? And we are trying to cross this halfway point, this middle line, if you can see it. So your next stop for Palantir, here's your levels. Here's your levels. $149, and then we are looking at we're looking at 154.32. So this is your range for Palantir, right? Now there's levels in between, but when you see red, white, and blue on my chart, these are pretty much your absolute max take profit targets. Okay, so there's levels in between. Likely, you'll see resistance. I'll dial this up a little bit more. You'll see resistance here at 146.24, right? And I indicate these with a yellow marker. Okay, and I'll clone this. To about there. Okay, so that's your zone. And I'll clone it again so we just know what we're looking for towards the downside. And we'll see if we got to play on Palantir towards the downside. So let's just zoom in. Let me know if you caught the levels. I'm sorry, this isn't a rapid fire chart analysis. So typically with those, I'm like quick witted. I'm going through it and we're looking for the plays, right? Somebody asked me about Palantir, I'm digging into it, right? Because I know it's a hot play. It's a lot of government stuff that's going on with geopolitical stuff, nonsense, whatever. And they're in this business, right? They're in this AI business, and they hold government contracts. So that's why I'm taking a little bit more time. So what I noticed, yeah, we have some wicking here. We failed to break below. We tested it multiple times, and now we're up here testing it again. Ultimately, we have an imbalance here, and essentially we need to break above 143.38. Okay, so if we break above 143.38 and we actually find support, then we're looking bullish. I'm zooming in at the 65 minutes so you can see how price is reacting to the imbalance, right? The 4-hour imbalance, and it looks like it's ready to go back up, right? So we will see, but this is here. I'll share the chart with you that I just made. So I typically do this for members. Here, there you go. All you, big dog. Okay. Why 149? Because that's the levels I came up with. That's my negro damas hat. All right. If you want to know more about how I found that, come on, join up. We talk about it in the deep dives all the time. All right. So what's next? What else we got for a ticker? If you just tuning in, please hit the like button. I really appreciate it. All right. All right, I'll do Hood. I see Hood. And y'all are on these stocks that are on rockets. All right. So again, we're looking at a chart that's going into uncharted territory, right? So essentially, we have an ascending channel, but now that we've broken out, we're likely to come back to retest if we have not done so already. So yes, so as I'm seeing this, just so you know, I personally, hold on, what time is this? This is still, okay, this is not yet an after hours. So as I'm looking at this, this tells me that there's a chance that we sell off or we pull back. Why? Because as I'm looking at volume, guys. So as price is going up, right, what is volume doing? Volume is going down. So we have divergence. And when you have divergence, that's where that should trigger you to look for potential reversals. Okay, so you're looking for these candlesticks that I showed you. Okay, you're looking for something like this for a potential pullback. It might not happen right away. It could pump a little bit more, but as long as volume's doing this and dying off, as buyers, it's showing you that buyers are losing steam. That's what's happening. Or price is just not of interest up here right now. Okay, so that's what I'll say on this for the most part. And as far as where it's going, I mean, this is a 65-minute, so we can definitely say that we can look to a fill imbalance, so retest of imbalance, or this ascending line of previous resistance, now support potentially, as a target or take profit target. Okay, and so that means that once you get to this level, you're again looking for volume. As we approach this level, is volume increasing or is it going down? Right? If it's increasing as you approach this level, that means that you likely have bearish momentum and you have a potential for a sell-off, or at least back down to an area of demand. So anyway, let's move on. Hopefully that makes sense. Okay. I don't know what CRWV. Okay. Well, I love when I see this type of chart because what it tells me is that it's giving you a false head and shoulders pattern. So sometimes when you see this, people say, "Oh, we got a head and shoulders," but right. But the disconnect is that you have to have a higher low for this to be considered a head and shoulders. So this is a lot of times considered just a fake or a false breakdown. So this very well could continue towards the upside, and it's just creating a different channel. So we have an ascending channel here, right? I could draw that better, but now sometimes your previous ascending channel, that previous ascending line of support becomes resistance, but you get a new level of support as you continue towards the upside. So I could see this happening on this particular chart. But let me redo. My God, this thing is just on a straight rocket. Core weave. Yeah. So exactly what I just said. So, but from here to here, I want you to understand the pattern that you see. There's a chart pattern called the megaphone. Okay? This is a megaphone pattern. And just like any chart pattern, you're looking for a breakout. And you're looking for a breakout or breakdown, right? Breaking out of this channel. And you're looking for the downside moves like that, right? This would be a level of support. So essentially you need to fall below this level, retest, and then break down. Okay. But towards the upside, I mean, sky's the limit. As of right now, I would not touch it because it's trading. It's in the middle. I would want to trade near the top or bottom of this. That's just what it is. Looking at the MFI, we're in bullish territory, but we have crossed. We are in a downtrend essentially on my MFI. So typically this means that we have another case of divergence where price is going up, but value, the money factor is going down. And these are indications that you look for a potential sell-off, okay? The only thing that's missing on this is intersecting or crossing the halfway point of 50. I'll talk more about MFIs in a future class. All right, so what else we got? MP materials. Y'all are just, I wonder, this is what I want to know. I'm getting a lot of, oh, this one's not so bad, but I'm getting a lot of stocks that have run, and something tells me that people are looking to figure out where they can pick it up when they probably should have picked it up a minute ago. So, okay, how are we gonna play this? Okay, well, this is pretty easy. So let me go ahead and tag this up and do it proper for the queen that has requested it. And then right now, essentially, we are looking at shorts potentially, but just give me a minute. Okay, I'm on my daily. So I identified the trend. We broke this downtrend. Now we have higher highs and higher lows. Okay, and then we just had a bullish breakout. So, but also we noticed that we've approached a key level of resistance, and then this is also a previous level of resistance. So essentially, Queen, what you're looking for is a price action around this level. Oh, we already fell below. Okay, so this is, I'd be looking to short it, like on a short-term basis, if we confirm. Because right now what we're doing, we're falling, but now we're retracing. Now we need to see rejection at this level for a continuation towards the downside, okay? So 3480, Queen, is your magic number. And I don't know if you are playing options or not, but I'm gonna go ahead and put an alert here for myself because I am interested. Look for, hold on, I'm just gonna say calls, puts, 1 to 2 week DTE on confirmation. And I really like this one, so I'm gonna go ahead and add me a little fire emoji. I don't know what the contract looks like though, but that's a hot one. This is a hot one, y'all. But I want you to notice something, okay? As price is falling through a key level, candlesticks are slimming up. Now, I know this is after hours, so you gotta take it with a grain of salt. But either which way, right at close, right, we start to see a thin candle. So I don't like that. Typically, that means that this is a potential false breakdown. But the real test is when we retrace, and then we'll see how prices reacted. Well, and on the 5 minute, it's already done the retracement and sell-off, but we'll see. Higher time frames on this one because I would look at this as a swing trade. Okay, what's next? HIMS, SoFi. Okay, what time is it? Oh man, it's 11. Yo, I'm gonna have to hang it up soon. It's 11 p.m. See, this is what happens when I'm away from home. Y'all getting all my hours. All right, HIMS got done dirty. And I wish I was paying attention. Why? Because it's exactly what I've been talking about. As price is going up, right? It's thinning out. You're seeing more wicks and smaller candles. More wicks and smaller candles. And it's just a matter of time before you hit that wall, either which way. But this just tells you that somebody knows something. Okay? And it's a key level. So, how are we playing HIMS? Mm-mm-mm. Okay, so Hims is at a key level of resistance, well, previous resistance, so it has to hold here. So essentially Hims, we technically should be looking for calls based on what I see. But for something like this, I'm probably going to bring in the volume profile. Let's go with the range, fixed range volume profile. And I'm going to go ahead and go from here to here. So yeah, exactly what I was thinking. So I'm pretty on par with this high volume node, but I'm going to go ahead and mark it anyway. If you ever see an orange dotted line on my chart, that is a high volume node. On like that's the only, like everything that I do is color coded. So that's a high volume node. All right. I have a business plan. I wrote all this stuff out. I stick to these things so I don't get confused. So essentially down here, we're looking for a price action candle to tell us that it's time to reverse. And if you've been paying attention this whole time, you know that as we sold off, right? Volume was also going down, right? So this tells you that sellers are likely losing steam and we're looking for a potential reversal. Okay. And we have our first reversal indication right here. A hammer at the bottom followed by some green candles. That's pretty nice to see. But it's not good enough. I need to zoom in to get a better look. So you see the false breakdown, right? Confirmation didn't happen. Instead, it went back up. So now you're looking, this is a low, a higher low, and a higher low. We are officially, we are likely to run up on Hims, okay? Unless the market does something silly, Hims is probably gonna go on a rocket. But understand that this is a high volume node, which means there's a lot of, it's chop here. It's a lot of buyers and sellers. So there's gonna be some indecision as far as the direction that Hims is gonna go, all right? Anything can take this market down or up, but chart patterns and volume is super important. Okay, notice that we are in, again, a symmetrical triangle, and now we are looking for a breakout. Notice that we got into this triangle from a downtrend. So there's a 52% chance that it sells back down, right? But if we see that, I wouldn't be surprised if it did one of those on me, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna set an alert because I like it. Set an alert, and I'm gonna give myself a message. Chop zone. But I'm gonna say caution, all right? Give me a caution sign. Caution. I don't even know GIFs. They do GIFs on here? That's crazy. All right, caution. But potential breakout. Look for price action near top, bottom of symmetrical triangle. Too many words, so let's go triangle. Not big enough. Let's go with that. All right, so I have my alert set. Okay, I would advise you do the same. Wife is probably telling me to go to sleep. Hey, babe. No, I'm on a live stream. I didn't get a text either. Yep, I'm about to get off though soon. I've been on for a little bit. All right, I'll call you back. Okay. I love you too. All right. Is that helpful, everybody? If you're here and you have not hit the like button, please help a brother out. All right. I'm also going to set an alert for hymns near the level, right? So I'm double click. Look for potential reversal. 1 to 2 week DTE calls. And I'm probably gonna put a fire one on that one too. All right. They lost a partnership. Okay, that happens. But hey, if they lose a partnership, doesn't mean the company's trash. A lot of times it's just an overreaction. It is what it is. That's just an opportunity for us to pick it up. Hold up. Dang, where was Hims at? Dang, that's woohoo. Yeah, I might be picking up Hims. I gotta do more research on the company, but we will see. That must have been a huge contract. All right. So hey, real talk, y'all. I do have a Discord. I'm in 2 Discords. I'm in KGU and I'm in Sacrifice for Riches. Right? KGU is my home. I will always be in KGU. I'm a crown trader there. If you guys are interested in being in a larger group with a lot more people, a lot more knowledge and information and alerts and stuff like that, then it's a great place to be. If you're looking for live trading, then Doctorate Tier is the way to go. The link is in the description. For me, this is Sacrifice for Riches, my channel. This is about the journey. It's about mindset. It's not just about calling plays, okay? It's about being part of a team, right? And helping people grow as I grow myself, right? But that doesn't mean that we're not crushing it, all right? So we do swing trades, we do day trades, and we're getting 50%, but on average, our returns are about 150% on the plays I call. If I had to guesstimate the math. And those that are in green, they already know, because your boy shows receipts. And I get into the plays that I call out. I don't just call out plays. If I'm talking about it, I'm likely getting in it. All right, I got skin in the game every time. No, it's not that kind of show, big dog. RSI and MACDs. Nah. If you're asking for lessons, then you're gonna have to join up, big dog. Become a member. I love to teach. I love to have you. And just have you a part of the community. So consider it. Give me one moment. We're gonna wrap up soon, but let's do this. I have a bunch of content is already available, depending on your tier. But right there is your option or ability to join the Discord. Okay. All right. Hey guys, yeah, this has been great. I'm exhausted. I had a long day. What's up with the commercials during the live stream? That's killing me. Hey, get a premium membership, or I don't know what to tell you. Commercials is how I make a penny. So it's what it is. Okay? I'm sorry. All right. That is it. This is Stocks for Real, Sacrifice for Riches. Thank you everybody for being here. And then we're going to tune out, and I will see y'all in the next one. Thursday is the rapid fire chart analysis. Please hit the like, the subscribe, the notification bell, and then I will see you then.